Good afternoon. Welcome to Cooking with Nana. Today we're going to try to make a pan of bread. A loaf pan is what I call it, is a loaf of bread. But this is a new recipe that I'm trying. This is another one of my trials that we're going to see how this goes. But anyway, we're going to try this, and I'm going to have to break and pause through a bunch of this. So just bear with me on this. We're trying to learn how to do this. So anyway, so I've got out my bowl right now, and I'm starting out with 3/4 cup of warm water, lukewarm water. And we're going to just pour this into the bowl. And whenever I say lukewarm, this is where you could stick your hand in it and leave it in there, and it's not going to burn you. Okay. Next, we've got a teaspoon of active dry yeast that we're going to put in our bowl. Next, we've got this is a tablespoon of sugar. That's going to go in there. The sugar helps to activate the yeast and help it to rise. Next, we've got a teaspoon of, or this is really 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. We're going to dump that into there. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of soft butter. There's one. And this approximately, okay. And then we're just kind of going to whisk this in just a little bit. I'm going to kind of mash that down in there and kind of get it going anyway. Get that butter in there kind of mashed around in there and melting, and get the yeast going in that warm water. Okay, next we're going to start adding in some flour. And I've got out 2 cups of flour. This is all-purpose flour. Plus, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of flour also. So it's 2 cups of flour and plus 2 tablespoons of flour. Now, you don't want to mix all of this all at the same time into here. You want to just put a little bit and kind of get this blended, get it going. You want to kind of make a little paste out of this and just kind of getting it going. You don't want a bunch of lumpy and all that in there. And then just add a little bit more as you go. We're going to keep adding flour like this until it gets to where it's just too much to do with the spoon. I'm going to put that down and kind of do it around the sides here. Get this just all mixed in really good. Then we're going to get our hands in it. To me, this is the fun part of making bread, is getting to play what I call in the dough. I think that's really fun to get to knead. It's a lot of work, but to me that's a fun thing. I do have a stand-up mixer, but honestly, I really prefer to do this the old-fashioned way and knead. I just think that's fun. I never really got to do this as a child. I don't even remember if, I don't really think my grandmother even made bread. I don't remember it if she did. And I know my mom, she might have made bread, biscuits maybe. But there just wasn't a lot of bread making that I can remember as a child. Anyway, I'm just kind of incorporating all this flour, and then we're going to take it out and we're going to knead this. But I'm just trying to get it worked into a little ball, kind of. And this is going to be a little bit different because we're not going to add any more flour. We out here on the deal, we're just going to just start kneading. And whenever we're going to knead this for like 10 minutes. So, and you know, a lot of people do this stuff and do it on a board. Honestly, you know, my cabinets are clean. And I really prefer to just dump it all out here on my cabinet and start kneading. That's kind of what I like to do. And, you know, it's okay, just squish it, roll it, and then bring it back. Just try not to insert your fingers into the dough, because when you do insert your fingers, then you're going to get sticky all over your hands. So you just kind of fold it over and mash it with the palms of your hands. Just mash and roll. And this is what causes the gluten in the flour to start doing what bread is supposed to do, is this kneading process of this. And stretching it. I call it just playing. Just playing in the dough. Remember when you were a kid and we played with Play-Doh? You know, it's kind of like the same concept with this. I don't know, I've just really always enjoyed bread. And, well, I enjoyed Play-Doh too as a kid, but that's just kind of what this reminds me of. It's just making that ball, and, you know, you could make little people, and you can make whatever you wanted out of that. You know, it was just really fun. But this is what we're gonna do for a little bit, and I'm gonna turn on a timer and start timing this. And like I said, we're gonna do this for about 10 minutes or so, just working this dough and bending it over, rolling it. And it does seem really dry, my dough does. I don't know, but they say it works. It gets to going, but it does seem dry. I seem like I have a problem with bread whenever, like, it acts like it don't want to, like it's too dry. And I don't know, it's probably just me, but because it's starting to feel more like the dough. It should. But I don't know if y'all can really see kind of what I'm doing, but you just kind of fold it over and you roll it. Just like I said, we're not going to put our fingers in there. And then just kind of turn it a quarter turn and just keep pressing down and rolling. And like I said, I mean, this is work. And if you do have a stand mixer, you can put it in the stand mixer. You don't have to do bread this way. It's just, this is what I enjoy. I enjoy doing it this way. I've made some bread. Well, I think it was cinnamon rolls. I made one batch by doing it this way, by the kneading process myself, and then I made another batch using my stand mixer. And in both ways were very good, don't get me wrong, but I like I said, I like playing in the dough. So, and that's my choice. And, you know, if you don't want to do it that way, you want to do your stand mixer, then by all means go for it. Because, you know, sometimes I don't want to sit here and do all this. Because because this is work. But, and it's hard work. But, you know, now my dough is starting to feel more like dough. It's more like, it's not a sticky dough, but it's actually feeling like it should. And the more you work it, the more that gluten and that yeast is getting in there. It's warming that ball up, and that also helps the yeast to incorporate, and the flour, and getting that gluten going. I've never made a loaf bread, but I've been wanting to try this. And I thought, well, I think I will try this, and I'll try a video with it and see what you think of this. And who knows, it might turn out like a flop. But I hope not. I hope not. But anyway, we're getting ready to celebrate Christmas, and, you know, I don't know, I'm getting into this baking, or cooking, I should say. I'm not really into baking, but, you know, some people are making their candies and pies and stuff like that. I'm really not much of a baker like that. You know, I struggle making a box cake. I mean, I really do. Sounds crazy that you can't make a box cake, but yeah, I do struggle. The struggle is real. I've tried to make fudge 2 times now, and y'all, I can't even make fudge. My fudge is running. I don't know what I do to that. And I have watched video after video, the 3-ingredient fudge, and I'm telling you, that's what I made this last time. And even that did not even set up. It's liquefied. I've just pretty much got it in my head that I'm not a baker. I can cook. I love to cook. But not into this baking business, because it's making me mad. So we're going to see how the bread turns out. But I have faith that I can do bread. And I need y'all to have faith that I can do bread. But yeah, we're almost there, y'all. We are almost there with this. And then we're going to let this proof for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. We're going to let it sit, or we're going to let it just set in a few minutes for about 10 minutes or so after we get this process done. And we're just going to, and we're going to do that, I think, twice. We let it set for we're going to come back. We're going to let it set for 10 minutes. Here in just a few minutes, as soon as my timer goes off. And then we're going to come back, and we're going to need another 6 minutes. And then we're going to put it in our loaf pan and let it rise. So, y'all, the hard part is almost over. Because this is the hard part. It's doing it this way. Getting into my bowl. And but I just really enjoy this part. And y'all, the yeast, oh my goodness, smells so good. I just love the smell of yeast. You know, I'm really glad this is not real sticky. It's not a sticky dough. It's really not too bad. Not compared to another recipe I used. I mean, but you know, it says that you're not supposed to use any other flour out here on the cabinet. Now, I've got some from my bowl, but I'm really not using it. It was kind of just in the circle. But now here in a little bit, we'll sprinkle just lightly a little bit of flour, but right now it's not even called for. But I'm really not having a problem. I thought I would have it would be stuck all to my cabinet, but it's really not. Which I'm really glad. We got about another minute, y'all. And then we're going to let this kind of, in fact, I'm going to start kind of rolling it up in a ball. And what you want to do on that is you just kind of take your fingers and you just kind of roll it under, there's my bell, and you just kind of roll it under, you know, make a ball. And this is, and what we're going to do now is we're going to put a bowl over this little ball. See my little ball? And we're just going to put a bowl over my ball, and we're going to let that rest for just a few minutes. And matter of fact, you can take your bowl that you had and just, we're going to let that rest for 10 minutes. If y'all will just hold on, we'll be back. Thank you.